morning, everyone. And I got nervous again, so I need to have some of that divine peace find me. It's sunny out this morning, and I had yesterday morning a lovely time of looking through and researching about the Greek philosophers, primarily because I was thinking of Plato's allegory of the cave. So I was wondering, does anyone remember the allegory that Plato put forth about the cave? Okay. The sun fits with this because Plato thought of man on earth as being in the back of a cave, facing the back. And sun, I'm going to make this brief because his is very intricate. But when the sun is coming in the opening of the cave, it went by the people and made a shadow, and the people he felt were looking back at the shadow and thinking that was life. And he's thinking that here on earth we sort of do that. We get into the culture, we get pressures from society, and we're living that way and don't realize there's light, there's enlightenment at the opening of the cave. And he spoke of teachers too coming to the opening of the cave, and that's what I wanted to mention. I had long ago been in a library and found that there were a number of teachers that came to earth about 500 years before Jesus came to earth, and among them were Lao Tzu from China, Confucius, Siddhartha Gautama, Zoroaster from Persia, Socrates, Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle, and a whole bunch of them in Greece. Then later on, 2,000 years ago, a rabbi named Jeshua came to the earth and brought many teachings. And then 1,400 years ago, Muhammad came and brought many, many teachings. And between them, their followers number, and we have to realize that their depth of belief varies, from deeply being Christian or Muslim to maybe not. But they number about 5 billion on an earth that has 7.9 billion people, so their teachings went far and wide. So, considering what today is, there are many who honor the teacher Yeshua, who is called the Christ, and they're brought to remember that it was written that he arose to show humankind that this speck of life, this short time we're here on this earth, is just but a part of what our magnificent soul. We have an existence before we came, and he supposedly visited earth after he passed away, and I think that was to show us that we have a lot broader scope than just this short life we're here on earth. And it's interesting that we know that Passover is near Easter, but this year Ramadan is at the same time. And so as people all over the world are pondering spiritual things at this time, I want to think of Yeshua's reminders to love thy neighbor and to love thy enemies. And I bring that up because I was thinking of the Ukraine, and we pray for the people of Ukraine, but I'm praying also for the people of Russia and the leader of Russia, so we can pray for our enemies. Thank you.
Don't leave yet. Thank you. Thank you very much, Janet. And a happy Easter to one and all. I'm thinking about tomorrow's my favorite day of the whole year. Better than Black Friday, better than Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, jelly beans are 50% off. Favorite shopping day. I eat till I'm sick, and I love it every year. Welcome to all. Mike, there's a gentleman sitting right in front of you, and I noticed when we were singing, he hasn't been here before, I don't think, that we have a songbook and a Wings of Song. Would you show him the difference in the two? That's the songbook, and the hardback is the Wings of Song. So, all right. Well, outside of 50% off Jelly Bean Day tomorrow. The next big thing, I think, is potluck next Sunday, right after church. And then the next big thing is our cabaret, community cabaret at the Oaks on the 30th, Saturday, from 5 to 7. The Bluebirds will be here. It's a free concert, and it's been, just disregard the 2 years that we weren't. This will be our 4th year of running, and it's self-perpetuating. We ask people if you feel that you'd like to help us keep this a free event. We pay our bands, and people can donate. It's not a tip jar for the band, it's a perpetuation jar of this concept of having free music and dancing and a place for people to have fun and heal. And it's perpetuated itself for all this time. And I have no reason to believe it's going to do anything except just keep on going and getting better. So I'd love to see it every other week or even every week. If we get to that point, why not? Okay, enough about that. Your mini message this morning was very, and it reminded me of something. We have philosophers even now, like Einstein. Einstein, one of his best quotes is, the difference between intelligence and stupidity, intelligence has limits. I keep that in. All right. In the back, the board voted to have a suggestion and comments box. And in the back, in the foyer, on the table, there's this ugly old black box with 2 little signs on it, says suggestions and comments, and then a hole, and you can write suggestions or comments on anything, like on the back of order of service, fold it up and throw it in there. It can be anonymous. You can identify yourself. You can even write somebody else's name on it if you want to have some fun with it. So and I'll check it every Sunday after church, and if you have suggestions and maybe don't want to own up to it, that's all right. But sometimes it'd be nice to hear from you with some ideas or comments or what's that other word? Criticism, yes. I like criticism. It's the only way you really improve. So we got the cabaret, the cots. Did you all see the newsletter Wayne set out? Okay, we're walking the talk, folks. So I'm just really, really pleased. In the little rack, if you look back, you'll see the fire extinguisher on the wall back there. On the other side of that wall, in the foyer, there's a rack, and you'll see these. We now have welcome brochures. And if anyone new, actually, Janet, will you grab this one and hand to that gentleman sitting right in front of Mike?
Oh.
And so we can pass those out, and we will keep that supply enough all the time. Let me see, I got notes here. Potluck, cards, cabaret, suggestion. Tracy.
There's a misprint in the order of service here. The next song is number 17, but it's in the songbook, not in the Wings of Song.
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem.
It's in the songbook. Good thing you said that, because any other announcements? Oh,
A week from Thursday.
a week from Thursday. All right. Anything else? Then, thanks to Tracy, let's all stand up, open the songbook to number 17, and sing I Love Myself the Way I Am.
Love myself the way I am. There's nothing really can change. Always be perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange.
Now, to anyone who is new, do not be frightened. But at this point in time, we greet each other in a traditional Church of the Oaks fashion, however you are most comfortable.
Yes. I've been on a hiatus for a few years.
Is he Patrick too? Oh, stand back and fan. And we got a Michael Patrick here. Oh,
I think we needed another Patrick.
we have an elite society going on here. Yeah.
Maybe I'll change my name.
Only most of us have a K on it. They forgot. They just misspelled yours wrong.
Yeah, mine. Nick's name.
Patrick, you're going to find out we're an amazing bunch of people. You're going to be so glad you came today. Yes. Ananda, would you come up, please? Okay, so I have a question to ask you that you've been supposed to be contemplating. Have you got an answer yet?
No.
Oh, okay. He's supposed to tell me the next date he's going to do a mini message.
Oh,
So-
right. Okay. Yeah. The week after next week.
The week after, that'd be the first of
Yes.
whatever the next
No,
month
not
is.
next
Okay. Okay, don't forget to record that.
I'll just talk about you and your life.
That'll be short.
So what have you been doing in your life that is exciting?
Let's see. Went over to a friend's house yesterday and stuff, and let's see. I've been contemplating very deep things.
Well,
Yes.
very good. Very good. Well, we're going to give you some more to contemplate today.
Okay.
All right?
Great.
Thank you for being here, Ananda. He rings our bell, he mows the grass, he does a lot of things. He gives many messages, and he contemplates deep things. So that energy and that unbiased views of things, that ability to contemplate deeply without 30, 40 years of bias and habitual reaction is such an asset to us. It's such abundance and prosperity. And it's like, I just hope we keep continuing in this very positive direction that we are headed. And I'm just thrilled. So let's read together the affirmation of abundance on our order of service. When we choose to give, if our gift is inspired by gratitude rather than obligation, we are manifesting the power of the divine and the spiritual principle of abundance. May we ponder that a moment, please. Thank you, Michael. As we prepare for meditation, I chose a song that we used to sing very often. And we haven't for a long time, just simply because your minister forgot about it. And I think today is a perfect day to bring it back to life, to resurrect it into something that we do more often now. I clothe myself safely round.
For meditation, sit comfortably. Clear your thoughts as best you can. Inhale a slow, deep breath, feeling the flame within you. You may want to close your eyes or not, but see yourself as you're breathing. With each slow breath, your internal flame grows brighter. With each breath, there is a peaceful calm surrounding you and emanating out. On the exhale, let your light surround you and others, eventually to find just the right person or situation. On the inhale, see your light grow. Exhale, share your light with others. So let's begin. as we begin to end this meditation, see a light surrounding you, your own light, a light of protection and a light of love. And so it is.
Kelly and Michael, thank you very much. Well, I kind of was trying to be a little clever with the title of the message this morning, a little Eastery. But my message is not really clever or joyous. It's pretty serious. Last week, I made mention in the front of The Wings of Song, this James Dillard Freeman. Would you all turn to that again? In the front cover of The Wings of Song. And I'm going to ask that we read it together out loud, that second little paragraph. May there be beauty in this place, but especially may it be a place where men and women become aware of the beauty in themselves. That has been heavy on my mind for about 3 weeks now. Just that, our awareness of the beauty within. I just wonder, all of us will probably raise our hand and say, yes, I'm aware of my beauty within. And I think we are, to a point. But I think that, with the exception of maybe Ananda, who hasn't lived enough years to really have a great deal of self-loathing, most of us probably carry around at least $100 worth of that stuff all the time. And I don't know what the word to use it. I think we have been shamed by society, by peer pressure, certainly by the markets. I did a little research in the cosmetics industry worldwide last year in 2021. $500 billion was spent on cosmetic and beauty products. In the United States, 5% of the world's population, $49.8 billion, 10% was spent in the United States. And that doesn't include the cosmetic surgeries for enhancement of different things and Botox and all that stuff. That's just over the shelf, over the counter stuff. So if you just look at raw numbers, the women, or predominantly women, by the cosmetic title, spend twice as much per person as every other woman on the face of the earth. 5% of the top population, 10% of the expense. And women must, I'm going to tell you a joke that I heard. I was supposed to start this with this joke. I have a lady barber, and we share jokes. And some of them are a little tough, but they're always funny. And I walked in a couple weeks, she said, I have a new joke for you, you're gonna love this. And I said, okay. She said, why do women wear perfume and makeup? And I said, I don't know. Now keep in mind, she's a lady. She said, because they stink and they're ugly. And I thought, well, we both laughed. But to spend $500 billion subconsciously because we stink and we're ugly. Those are probably not the right terms to use, but it's the same mindset. You're less than, you're not attractive enough. Women are shamed into, oh, you have to have makeup, yeah. Because if you're pretty enough, some prince is gonna come by, grab you up and take you home and put you on a throne and make you a princess. I wonder how that worked out for Princess Di, Princess Margaret. And men are so worried about the size of their bank accounts. That is the true show of masculinity and beauty. Don't care what you look like as long as you have money. You can have whatever you want. How shallow is that? What does that tell us? How wounded, how lacking we are of the sense of beauty within us. What and who we truly are. That's what makes the difference. You know, this $50 billion that we spend in this country, let me put it in a kind of a perspective for you. You know, we got this Me Too and women and all these movements, the women's movement. If the women in this country, and I say that because predominantly women buy the makeup. Some men do too. Right, Wayne? Okay, all right. $50 billion. President Obama spent the most money in the history of political campaigns to become president. He spent $1 billion. Women, if you would buy half the makeup, just be half as beautiful on the outside as you are now, you could buy a woman president. You could spend $5 billion, $10 billion and pay for whatever it took to get that woman elected. You could also, for $50 billion, buy, I don't know, 25, 30 Senate seats, the way our politics is designed. But instead, I gotta be pretty, I gotta buy this stuff. We are so wounded, men and women alike. And that wounding goes way deep. I'm going to I had a friend, a large friend, a very large lady, asked me, because I was talking about this topic. She said, you know who Lizzo is? I said, no, got no idea. And Lizzo is a very large black lady who is a rock star. I don't know if it's, I listen to some of her music, I don't appreciate her music, but that doesn't mean it's not great, young people do. But when she performs, she wears like, what do they call, just a, no, it's like a bathing suit, like a one-piece bathing suit, or sometimes she wears bikini kind of things on the stage. And she weighs like 350, I'm guessing. And she has dancers, like all the rock stars have all these dancers around. And they're all large ladies too. And they did on HBO, they did a special not HBO, Prime. And it's called Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls, GRRRRLS. And I was told if I wanted to be touched to watch this. And it's a series, they're like 5 or 6 one-hour episodes. And I watched it. And I spent most of that time crying. Yet what it is the audition process for the ladies in her Big Girls Dancers. And to see how wounded, how shamed we have made people feel in this country, all over the world, by being large, by being black, by being a woman. And they started off with like 14 of these ladies who were all pretty much professional dancers, and what awareness processes they went through to be picked to be on this big special and be on the road gang that does all the shows as she travels all around the world. And it was probably one of the saddest and yet one of the joyous things I've watched. To see these young women deal with all the shaming, with all of the bruises and all the negatives, and wind up loving themselves and finding out I am beautiful, I am professional, and I am proud of what I do. And if you got some time, Prime, on whatever that thing is, Amazon Prime, Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls. And you can watch it in pieces. I think there's like 5 episodes. It takes place over about a 6-week period of time as these young women apply and become part of the road crew. Not all of them make it. And I can't think of a better way for each of us to send our awareness and intention into thinking about our own shaming and bruising and all of these peer pressures and sociological and economic pressures that we as men and women go through. And one of the gals in this troupe of big women was trans. And there's a whole nother, what if you're gay or bi or trans or who knows how many there are, but can you imagine the pain people go through, the pain instilled by society? All of us have at least $100 worth of loathing that we carry around in our conscious, habitual lifestyles, the way we respond to things, the way we block things out, the way we avoid, the way we limit ourselves into what we can and can't do. If we could take some time this Easter Sunday and step anew into the realm of just how fantastic each one of us is. We came with all the equipment, the mental, the emotional, the heart, the physical, to accomplish almost anything we can think of. And how we think of ourselves is kind of the basis on how we think of others. Do you ever notice people nitpicking on somebody else? You know what that really is? That's shifting the blame of those same undesirable qualities that we have in ourselves. And we see them in somebody, well, look at that, that's just disgusting. Yeah? Why? Because you think those same qualities in you are disgusting? Absolutely. My dear friends, we have grown together over time, just like a marriage, just like a family. And all of us give so much to the universe. We share our time and our talent and our thought and our treasure. But I'm kind of thinking that if we become a little more aware and concentrate a little bit more on our beauty that we have within us, all these amazing things, and some of them maybe not so amazing, some of them maybe not so attractive. We don't have to hate it, we just don't have to show them. Concentrating on showing and using and being the beauty that we are, the important beauty. You don't have to put it on, you don't have to curl it, you don't have to have the roots done. It's there all the time. You don't have to worry about what the balance is. It's there all the time. So take that shame, my friends, when you go home, check it out. We all got some. Put it in the closet, put it in the bottom drawer, and close it. Leave it closed. Just something we all have. We all have the junk drawer. We all have the junk closet. Leave that stuff there. And concentrate and share. Concentrate on the awareness. Be aware of how beautiful and how amazing each one of us is. And that's what we share. And we don't have to feel shameful. We don't have to feel embarrassed. We are what we believe. We are how we feel. And we are how we think. And I'm suggesting that all of us can take a step up to a different dimension of what we think and feel about ourselves and about others as well. We sang this song, How Could Anyone Ever Tell You? Well, there are millions of people that want to tell you you're less than beautiful, that their products will make you beautiful. But the truth is, once you believe and know how beautiful you are, none of the rest of it matters. We sang this recently, but I think this is a perfect song for our message and our thought today. Let's stand and sing, How Could Anyone Ever Tell?
How could anyone ever tell you I was anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you I was less than beautiful? How could anyone fail to notice that your love is a miracle? How deeply I'm connected to God's soul. How could anyone ever tell me you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than beautiful? How could anyone fail to realize that your life is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to God's soul. How could anyone Thank